He pulled off his usual disguise. Good morning, night, afternoon, fuck, whatever it is. A brilliant start to your shift. Can I get you a coffee or something? Yes, wait, no. Seriously, are you okay? I'm fine, Gotti. You're so nosy. It's just been a long few days. Florian dragged his bag over to the counter and sat down with a sigh. I can tell you're looking worse every day. Gee, thanks. He's very cute. Look at his face. He looks really cute. Florian's voice was a flat monotone, as if all the energy had been sucked out of him. You could always take a few days off. I'm sure we could manage. I'll have to take a double shift on sweeping, but hey, I could use the arm workout. I do more than sweeping, you know. Also, I don't want to. I'm not sick. Just... It's fine. Stop worrying about me and worry about something more productive. Give me an example then, and I'll consider it. Running the store? I think I've kinda got it down by now. Something else? Fuck, I don't know. All this supernatural stuff you're struggling with. Yeah, actually, about that. What? I think I might be a witch or a wizard or something along those lines. God, what changed overnight? To make a long story short, a magic book with the worst personality ever pretty much hit me in the face with a revelation. I'm fine, you know what? Sure, magic books, great. Really? That's all? What do you want me to say? You're a witch. Hooray, let's celebrate. I kinda thought you'll have a bit more to say than that. Do you know if my aunt was like this? Well, there was certainly something wrong with her. Hey, I don't mean, look, she's eccentric and she lives here. There was always going to be something up with her. So you didn't know she was a witch? Nope, she tends to keep things to herself. It's kinda her thing. And you are fine with that. Look, she pays me. I don't care if she's a witch or an alien or whatever else, just as long as my bills get paid. I'm sure you have sick leave, you know. You ought to use it. I'm not sick, leave it. Jeez, alright, I'll drop it. Florian let out a breath. Sorry, I've just had a shift. I've just had a shit few days. That's it. If you're a witch or whatever, maybe you have some spell to give me my energy back. He laughed weakly and rested his head on the counter. I'll give anything to sleep right now. You can use my bed if you like. I can't think of anything weirder than sleeping in Sylvie's room. I think the bed smells more like me than her, if that helps. It does not. It's not for lack of trying anyway. Thanks for the offer, though. Like, can I just be flirting with all of these men? I mean, it's the demo, right? I think it's fine. I don't know. I never know. So give him a pat on the head. He reached down and gave him a pat on his head. His hair was actually very soft. I don't like the pats on the head. I don't like them. Never liked it. No. There are other things that you can do to me. Just leave my head alone, okay? What are you doing? Sorry, really, it was kind of force of habit. You reminded me of my mom's dog. Heck, your mom's dog. Yeah, when she's grumpy, she puts her head down like that to my bed. Hey, if it makes you feel any better, you're much softer than her. Whatever, I have work to do. He practically flew away from the counter, cheeks turning bright red. Sorry, Florian. With that, you finished up your lunch break and got back to work. You sat down at your desk ready to go over the week's bills. You paid your bill in full, 80. Oh my god, yeah. Yeah, because I was like, I didn't even know how much it was going to cost us. So I was like kind of thinking about that. So is it going to be like 80 per week, the usual kind of bill that you have to pay? I don't know. It was at least past 5 p.m. when you flipped over the sign on the door to close and let out a drowsy sigh. What a day. You say that every day, you know, like a broken record. Well, every day is exhausting in a good way, though. How can anything be exhausting in a good way? Haven't you ever finished something and been tired but really proud of your work? Nope. I usually finish shit, then wish I'd never started it in the first place. You're kind of a pessimist. The world isn't sunshine and rainbows. That's true, but well, bad things will always happen, but life goes on. Isn't that kind of cool? Not really. Maybe if you didn't frown so much, you'll be more positive. I don't think it works like that. Give it a try, see? Just copy my face. It's really easy, just relax your muscles and nope, still frowning, I see. It's not a frown, it's just my face. That's unfortunate for you. What's that supposed to mean? Nothing at all? Noisy must run in your family or something. Noisy, annoying, and a complete pain in the ass. You forgot gorgeous, charming, and funny? No, trust me, I didn't. You grinned, and Florian turned away from you, looking around the store. It looked as it always did, a mess of knickknacks and cluster, but a clean one. Florian did a good job, even if he always tried to deny it. Hey Florian, I was wondering something. You are always wondering something or another. You never stop asking questions. It's good to have an inquisitive brain, you know, it keeps me young or something like that anyway. Is it? It seems like a lot of effort, especially when you could just keep your mouth shut and think to yourself instead. Anyway, as I was saying, I know that you grew up in the town, but not much else. You haven't always worked here, right? What did you do before? Is it important? That depends how important you think getting to know each other is. Not important then. I think you're a default to being mean when you feel shy. Look, I used to be in college, but that didn't work out and I dropped out. Oh, there's a college here? That's surprising. I didn't know the population of Willowmist could support it. No, it was in the city. Didn't you say you've always lived here? I was only gone a few months, it hardly counts. Well, why'd you drop it? Got bored of your major? Why is this so important to you? You've got a magic book upstairs, right? Why don't you go bug it instead? I don't know if Barnabas would like that. He has a name. Hey, I didn't pick it, he came pre-named, though to be fair, Barnabas is kind of a rocking name. You're changing the subject. Barnabas has nothing to do with this, I'm interested in you. Health complications, alright, I couldn't stay, but I also couldn't come back when... Look, fine, if you're so desperate to know, I'll tell you, but can we sit down? My head is killing me. Of course, we can use my room upstairs if that's alright with you. Florian looked to the side, a dusting of red appearing on his cheeks. Now who's trying to get who into bed? I never mentioned bed, did I? You're the one thinking about it. I never... No need to deny it, you literally just brought it up. Look, you're cute, but I think that's jumping ahead a little, don't you? I'm not... You don't... Ah. With that, Florian turned around and stomped upstairs, huffing the entire way up. Welcome to my humble abode, Sir Florian. God, shut up, you sound like Lucille. Is that a bad thing? I know you two are pretty different, but I hope that's not a problem. One Lucille is enough, that's all. It's not like I hate her. She's just a lot. I think everyone is a lot to you, dude. I don't know, I kind of have that sensation. Alright, I'll keep the chivalry to a minimum, my fair liege. You flop down on your couch, sinking into the cushions. Florian followed, though much more cautiously, perching himself on the opposite end. He looked around the room, his gaze lingering on a photo frame. It had been there when you arrived, a picture of a much younger Aunt Sylvie holding a baby. It must have been you. This place is weirdly empty. You think, it's packed with all kinds of stuff in here. Sometimes I wonder where my aunt got it all. No, I mean, Sylvie has a big personality. She kind of filled any space she was in. I'm trying my best over here. I guess it's alright with you here too. Hey, I'll take second best to her. She's amazing. Anyway, what were we talking about? You dropping out of college? Right. Florian blinked a few times as if his eyes were trying to stay open. Are you feeling okay? Stop asking me that, I'm fine. He gently rubbed his temples, then shook his head. Just a headache, it's no big deal. Anyway, college. I just had some health shit and I left, but... Look, I won't sugarcoat it, and I'm not asking for your pity. My dad ran off after my little sister was born, and my mom struggled to raise both of us. I quit high school to have a couple of part-time jobs to help her. Kind of like my story, dude. Oh, Florian, I'm sorry. You do what you have to do to survive, but I was able to continue high school, although it was right at the beginning of high school when my father left us. And the first year I was not even going to classes. I was trying to digest everything that I was passing through, because you're in the adolescence phase and there's a lot of things going on. Because I also lost a friend during that time. It was very hard for me during that time. You do what you have to do to survive, it's fine. But my mom, she secretly saved up to send me to college for years without telling me. Then she just sent me off. She wanted the best for you. Yeah, but why should that best not include them? But fine, whatever, I went. And I couldn't face them when I dropped out. They think I'm still in the city, living my life, getting my degree. And I can't bring myself to tell them otherwise. Oh, I see the situation. Okay. So wait, they live in Willowmist but have no clue you are here too? Florian, why? They would probably love to see you. I can't face them. She gave up everything for me and I just let her down completely. What am I meant to say? Hey mom, turns out I'm a fucked up who can't even make it through a semester of college. Surprise. Well, there's also that, you reaching college and understanding that things are not in the way that you thought they were going to be, or you don't like the major that you're taking or something. Sometimes it happens, and but you already feel like people already put it so many expectations, in you that it's hard. But that's why we need to be responsible. We need to face things through. I hate cowards, and I hate being a coward myself. So I always look at myself and I try to think about I need to change this. If I'm being a coward, I tell myself I need to change this. I don't want to be a coward, you know. I want to face things through, and being an adult is part of it, like you taking responsibility by, you know, the choices that you make in life. She'll be happy just seeing you and knowing you're safe. That's what parents do, especially if it's health related. I can't, not like this. Florian's head sank down into his hands, his shoulders trembling. I'm not who I was when I left. I can't. I'm not her perfect little son anymore. Would he feel like it is too much? I think he would. But I want to see what type of reaction is he going to give us. I think it's too much for him, but I want to see the reaction. Without thinking, you lean forward and put Florian into a hug. He stiffened, his breath catching, and his hands hovered over your back. What are you? I'm sorry, Florian, really. Slowly, though, his arms wrapped around you and he squeezed you tight. It's not like it's your fault. There's no reason to be sorry. I just want to go home and feel like things are normal again. Can't you? I truly, honestly believe that your mom would just be happy to see you. It's not just that. I don't deserve it anymore. I can't trust myself around her or my sister. Trust yourself. Even you should be keeping your distance. God, you're so fucking naive. I'll just mess things up for you too. Everything I touch just falls apart. I don't think that's true. I'm right here and I haven't fallen apart yet. The store hasn't fallen down around us. You're not destroying anything. Yet. I didn't want to share any of this shit. You know that. It's embarrassing. There's no shame in feeling emotions. Isn't that just proof we are human? He's not actually like a human, but yeah, I can understand where she's getting into. I know that it's difficult for you, and I can just magically make it better, but if you need someone to talk to or anything else, you can rely on me. You are too nice, you know? You're gonna end up getting taken advantage of. By whom? You? I don't think you have the energy to take advantage of anyone, even if you wanted to. Thanks, I guess. Florian pulled back and wiped his eyes with his sleeve. Seriously though, don't say anything without this to anyone. Our secret, I'm pretty good at keeping secrets, you know? Hardly. Barnabas. Hardly, you've known me for less than 24 hours, and you've already broadcast my existence to the entirety of this quaint little establishment. At this rate, I expect you'll be handing out pamphlets by week's end. Truly, your discretion is legendary. There he is, my favorite talking book in the whole world. Not a lot of competition there, but don't let that hurt your feelings. And to be fair, I haven't told anyone yet, only Florian. Oh, Florian, meet Barnabas? Barnabas, Florian? It literally talks. Did you think I was making it up? No, but I didn't expect. My reputation precedes me as always. Hello, Florian. It's a pleasure to meet a friend of my esteemed master, or some such drivel. Barnabas isn't very nice, if you hadn't noticed. No shit. You will have to excuse me, as I was rudely interrupted in the middle of my rest. Your rest? What does a book have to be so tired about, anyway? Plenty of things, you impudent creature. The effort it takes to communicate with my new master, for example, is truly a Herculean task. At that, Barnabas floated across the room and landed on the desk. It just flies. God, I'm tired for this shit. Now I've embarrassed myself in front of two people. Great. Fortunately for you, I have the displeasure of being in service only to my pitiful master, and as such, have no one to share your shame with. Just ignore him. I'll put him in the door if he keeps it up. The audacity. Fine, silence me. But mark my words, you will soon regret it. Barnabas needs to have, if they ever think about, I don't know if they are thinking about putting like voice acting. I wish they put like, you know, like that really British kind of accent in there, like for Barnabas. I think it would look great. This must all be a lot for you too. Yeah, because it's like, it's our 6th day in here. Just a little bit. I like to think I'm pretty good at running with things, but sometimes, I'll be honest, I don't even really know where to start. But I've got all the time in the world to work it out anyway. Aren't you going home in 3 months? Okay, I've got 3 months to work it out. Thanks, Florian. Sorry, I wasn't trying to make it worse. I'm just kidding, really. I'm having fun. I'll be fine. I wish I had a drop of your optimism. Change fucking sucks. Yeah, but sometimes it can be really great too. I've only been here a week and it feels like I've made a whole bunch of friends. It's really, really great. Yeah, well, you are easy to like. Am I now? For some people, not me. You don't like me at all. Ow. Damn, I've already planned out our wedding and everything. What? Our 3 kids, Alexis, Jasmine, and Michael, a white picket fence, and a dog named Boo Boo. And you'll just throw it all away? Throw it all away? It doesn't exist. You're delusional. So that's a no to my proposal? No. So it's a yes. No, I mean it's... God, you're so frustrating. I love you too. Don't say stuff like that. And seriously, Boo Boo, what kind of name is that? What do you suggest then? Toaster? Toaster? It's a good name for a dog. It's not better than Boo Boo. I disagree. At Florian's more than serious tone, you couldn't help but grin. Fine, Toaster it will be. Hey, that's not... I feel like I've just been scammed into a marriage. You have? This is all legally binding? God, please tell me you're joking. I am, but I do like you, Florian, as much as you try to be unlikable. I'm not saying we need to be best friends, but I do hope that we can get along. Yeah, fine. I wouldn't mind being friends with you, and you're not terrible to work with. We are getting somewhere now. Hey, what's your sister like? I can imagine you as a super doting older brother now that I think about it. I mean, yeah, I guess I was. She's super bossy and a pain in the ass, but she's bossy. Well, she's my sister. How old is she? 10, probably 11 now, actually. Do you have any photos? You scooted a little closer to Florian on the couch. Yeah, I think so. Florian reached into his pocket and took out his phone, flipping through his photo album. You couldn't help but lean in to see what was on his screen. You could see pictures of a little girl and a woman who must have been his mother, and Florian himself, though a few years younger. It was hard not to notice how much brighter Florian looked. He lacked his signature eye bags and he had a wide smile on his face. It was the kind of smile you'll never see from him. That's her. You two look so similar, you could be twins. Sure, if I wasn't 13 years older than her, Mom had me young. She's adorable, Florian. Your mom looks really nice too. In response, you pulled out your own phone, scrolling through until you found a picture of you standing next to your mom, back when you moved into your first apartment, which was also the apartment you just moved out of. This is my mom, a few years ago. Wow, your genes run strong, huh? Yep, my aunt and her look pretty similar, don't you think? This was back when I moved out of home. I lived in this little apartment right in the middle of the city. Sounds noisy. Yeah, I didn't sleep at all. A lot, sorry. Didn't sleep a lot. You let out a soft laugh before locking your phone and placing it back down on the table. That apartment was so weird. Did you know that the elevator fell like a dozen times? There was an earthquake localized to just the building, and a crane rammed in the first floor all in a single year. It was kind of hard for me to visualize. I mean, seriously. Yeah, but not a single person got hurt. I swear to God, someone in that building upset the Grim Reaper or something. For the first time since you met him, Florian smiled, his hand coming up to his mouth as he tried to muffle a laugh. Maybe you're cursed or something. With everything else going on, that wouldn't surprise me in the least. You've got a nice smile, you know? Florian blinked and his cheeks slowly turned red. What? I said you have a pretty nice smile, that's all. I don't really mean anything by it. It's just nice to see. You come out with the most random things. You are meant to just think that kind of shit, not say it. He leaned back, smacking his head gently a few times on the back of the sofa. My headache is killing me. I've got painkillers in the bathroom cabinet, if you want. I don't. They don't really help, but fuck it, I'll try. You hopped off the couch and headed to the bathroom. Your aunt had left an assortment of pills and medicines in the cupboard, but you didn't have a clue what most of them were for. You scooped up the painkillers, then popped back out. Florian was still in the same spot, but his eyes were shut tight and his chest gently rose and fell with each breath. Don't tell me another imbecile is moving into my quarters, Part5. Shh, be quiet, he's sleeping. And these aren't your quarters, I'm just letting you stay here with me because I'm nice. Barnabas, they say. You are interrupting the poor, tired man's beauty sleepy, they cry. Well, fine, I'll just be silent then, if that is what you desire. Carefully, you dropped a knitted blanket over Florian's legs, then settled in next to him, watching his sleeping face. He looked peaceful, much more peaceful than when he was awake. God, you really were exhausted. You ought to take better care of yourself, you know that. Well, you'll probably hate me for it, but I'll let you rest for a bit, okay? Maybe I'll close my eyes for a bit too, just a little bit. That'll be okay, right? Night, Florian. With a yawn, you drift off to sleep as well. You woke up to the sound of someone shifting beside you amongst the otherwise gentle hum of night. Lazily, you open your eyes, expecting to see Florian on his feet, embarrassed about falling asleep beside you, but instead notice a shadowed figure hovering over you, above you, leaning towards you. You blinked, trying to wake up your sluggish mind, and finally realized it was Florian. He was close to you and his eyes were half-lidded, his expression distant and unfocused. One hand was down beside you and the other braced against the couch to the side of your head. A sudden chill ran through your body despite the warmth still lingering in the air. Florian? No response came from Florian. He remained completely still, staring at you, no, not at you, but at your neck. His head dipped lower, the faintest brush of his nose against your skin sent a jolt through your nerves, and suddenly the sluggish fog in your mind cleared as his mouth was inches from your neck, his breath hot against your skin. Your eyes went to his face, and then you noticed something, a flash of something pointed and sharp between his parted lips. fangs. Your body danced, your heart hammered in your chest, and his breath hitched like he could hear it. Florian. No response. It was almost as if he wasn't truly himself. His posture was wrong, like he was acting on instinct alone, and in the dark, with a glint of moonlight reflecting off his eyes, his gaze looked almost empty. You felt the faintest graze of his teeth against your skin, a breath distant from sinking in now, a shiver run down your spine. But you managed to keep a lid on the panic threatening to break through. Reach up and touch his face. Because we know those are the ones that are going to... Like, the heart is pretty cool for us to know. You lifted a hand and reached out, cupping Florian's cheek. The movement caused his eyes to open wide and his lips paused. Slowly and ever so gently, you brushed your thumb across his cheek, expecting warmth radiating from his skin, but instead finding him as cold as a corpse. Your hand shook slightly and your breath was ragged and shallow. Florian, are you there? At the sound of his name, he blinked a few times and then looked down. When he saw where he was, he recoiled as if burned, falling off the sofa and landing heavily on the floor. His breathing was erratic and his hands were shaking, but he couldn't bring himself to look up. Shit. I didn't mean to. Florian, it's okay, calm down. You pushed yourself off the couch and crouched next to Florian. Don't come near me. Florian, seriously, it's fine. It's okay. Just take a breath. You tried to put a hand on his shoulder, but he backed up, his face twisted in a pained grimace. Just don't come near me. Fuck, I can't believe. I'm a fucking idiot. I shouldn't be here around people. Fuck. You didn't hurt me. But I wanted to so badly. But you didn't. You inched forward until you were next to Florian again. He turned his face away from you, but didn't protest. His breath was coming fast and ragged, like he couldn't quite catch it. You are... Don't say it. I'm not. A vampire? You could see Florian's body trembling even in the dark. I have to go. Is that what all this sickness has been about? You are hungry? I can't do this, not again. I can't do this to anyone. As quickly as he could manage, Florian pushed himself up and ran for the door. Florian? He was fast, faster than he should have been, especially given how weak and shaky he had looked. In moments, you heard the door downstairs slam shut. You jumped to your feet and rushed downstairs, knowing fully well that Florian was long gone, but wanting to try anyway. Damn it. Are you looking for Florian? Oh, Winnie. You turned to see her sitting on the counter, transparent legs hanging over the edge. Yeah, I was hoping he'll still be here, I guess. He ran off really quick. He looked upset about something. It's complicated, but I think I might have hurt his feelings. You don't happen to know where he lives or his number, do you? No, Florian doesn't really share that kind of stuff. Right. I'll have to talk to him tomorrow then. Yay, we got his event too. So, I mean, we got the event of most of them. I only don't have the new guy. The new guy's event, right? Eden. Yeah, that's his name. Okay, I'm so bad with names. So level up. No new unlocks. Oh, thank you very much. Your eyes went up to the clock. It was only 7:30 p.m. You hadn't slept for more than an hour or two. It felt like much longer. Your stomach growled, and you remember that you hadn't eaten dinner yet, and that you were pretty much out of food. I'll have to head out and find a grocery store, so I guess I'll just keep an eye out for Florian. Let me tell you something, girl. Be lucky with that when you are in Europe. Yes, be lucky. Yeah, that's like another thing that, sometimes I like to tell you about, like the differences between the US and here in Europe. And yeah, be lucky to have like 7:30. Yeah, maybe like in here, most supermarkets. Like if it's like a convenience store, it's probably going to be earlier, like 8 p.m. It's going to close. And if you're talking about supermarkets, it's 9 p.m. they close in here. Yeah, I know, I've been in the US and it's open like 24/7. It's not like that in here, in Europe. It's not. I mean, you might find some grab food kind of like thing when you go to the gas stations during the night. But let me tell you another thing. Not all, you probably do not know this, not all the gas stations in here are opening and functioning during the night. Yeah, that's another thing too. Because if we're talking about like the cities, like the major cities, yes, you will probably find them open. The gas stations, okay, I'm not talking about supermarkets in here. They are closed during the night. It's usually until 9 p.m. that they are open, and then they close. But gas stations, yes, in the major cities, you may find them like 24/7 open, but you are not going to get like a lot of stuff in there, okay? You're going to get like some things, that you can snack on, more like that, not actual food. Not that I'll likely find him at a grocery store if he's really a vampire. You turn towards the door before stopping in your tracks. Is everything alright? Winnie's legs stopped kicking back and forth and she stared towards the ground, biting her lip. She fiddled with her sleeves and kept her eyes away from yours. You asked me about going out for dinner with you, right? Oh, are we talking about that now? Yeah, that's right. I'll love you to come. And I forgot to ask Florian. Yeah, you did. Well, I want to go. That's great. But I'm really scared. Scared? I haven't ever tried to leave the building. Oh, I see. Wait, not even once? No, I'm scared that if I try, I'll just disappear. Winnie's shoulders drooped and she sighed. It's dumb, I know it is, but I've been here for as long as I remember, and I don't know if I still exist outside this building. What if the only reason I've lasted this long is because I've stayed here? What if I really am dead, and if I leave, I'll pass on? Winnie's eyes went down to her feet, and she swung them back and forth slowly. Hey, it's all right, Winnie. Seriously, it's okay. It sounds scary. If you would rather stay here, we can do something else, just the two of us. But I want to go. I want to spend time with everyone and laugh and have fun. I don't care if I can eat or anything, but I don't want to be alone anymore. But I'm too scared. I'm always too scared. You approached the counter and reached out, placing a hand over hers. It didn't feel like anything. You couldn't truly touch her, but the thought was there. If you want to do it, then do it. Be brave. I'll be right there beside you. You won't have to do it alone. Winnie hesitated for a moment, then pulled her hand back and floated down from the counter. Okay, you're right. I want to go. Thanks, Irina. You're the best. Did you want to try coming out with me now? No? I mean, thanks, but I think I need to build myself up for tomorrow. Alright, then it's a date. If you change your mind, just tell me, okay? Okay. At that, you double checked you had your keys before heading out into the growing night. The air was crisp and cold as you stepped out of the front door, and the wind rustled the trees that lined the street. There didn't seem to be anyone else wandering about, but then you supposed most people would be sitting down for dinner or tucked into bed for an early night's rest by now. Bundling your clothes closer to your body, you started on your way to the main square. The town square was a little more lively than the store, but not by much. It seemed as if a good portion of the shops were closed or closing for the night, and only a few people wandered the streets. It was a far cry from the bustling crowds and bright lights of the city. The streets were clean and quiet, and the houses were all maintained without any signs of graffiti or broken windows. That's like another thing, like another comparison that I need to make in here, which is like, it was so awkward to me that like in here we have the street lamps. We have them everywhere. I mean, unless you go to a really rural type of place, yeah, maybe you won't get as much. But in here, you have like those type of street lamps everywhere. And when I was in the US, it was so awkward because I'm even talking about the road, and if it didn't had the street lamps, I was like, why is it like, why don't you have like lamps in here, like so we can walk and see what's going on. I would always have to carry like a lantern with me when I wanted to go out during the night, because there was like no street lamps anywhere. But what the heck is that? Why you have it like that? I don't know. I never understood that. Yeah, it's like one of those differences. You could get used to this kind of life. You eyed the various stores around the area: a bookshop, a coffee shop, a hardware store, a pharmacy. Then you saw it, nestled at the corner of the street, a small grocery store, the same one Lucille had pointed out to you when you gone out for dinner together just the other night. The light inside was on, and a small open sign hung in the window. You walked towards it, keeping an eye out for Florian, but to no success. The inside was what you would expect of a grocery store, though much smaller in scale than the big stores back home. The aisles were narrow and the shelves were cramped, but it seemed like they had pretty much anything you'll need. The lone cashier nodded to you as you passed. No self-check out here, which didn't surprise you. You won't take over today, computer overlords? You grabbed the basket and began picking out some basics: milk, eggs, butter, that sort of thing. Oh, Eden. Twice in one day. I think that's what they call fate. I just had like a moment with the other guy in there. We can have our moment too. What do you think? I am not like that, honestly. This is like a demo, and we are just like going from one to the other and the other and the other. But I'm actually not like that. I always prefer to just like choose one and keep going with that one. But I mean, it's a demo and we're just having fun, so it doesn't matter. You turn it, hearing a new familiar voice behind you, to see Eden leaning against his shopping cart, red hair tousled. Unless, of course, he just couldn't stay away and decided to search me out, in which case I'm even happier. Eden grinned, and it was a little infectious. Actually, the allure of a full stomach pulled me here. Fate it is then, so what are you making for dinner? I'm tossing up between a sandwich or a cup of noodles. That's not the best, yeah, for sure. Oh, you shouldn't break out the fine china just for me. But I always like to impress on a first date. Who said you were invited? I would probably actually say this. But I'm going kind of like after all of them, so it doesn't matter. Sorry, this is a meal for one. I would be like, who said you were invited? But like in a teasing way. In a teasing way. But I always like to impress on the first date. The cup noodles are usually a hit. I have slightly more refined palate. How about instant mac and cheese? I am that, like, yeah, that's another thing that you really like in there. I'm not a big fan of that, like the mac and cheese kind of thing that you so adore. The microwavable kind. Of course. Now you are speaking my language. You're cute, you know that? And I think Lucille was telling the truth about you being a shameless flirt. I'll have you know that I'm the pinnacle of virtue. If a person is beautiful, shouldn't they be told so? Eden leaned over his cart further, his eyes scanning you up and down. And you're definitely beautiful. I'll feel flattered, but I bet you are like this with everyone. Only the most beautiful ones. He grinned and you rolled your eyes, though a smile crept into your face. You glanced down to his shopping cart, but were surprised to not see any food. You instead noticed an assortment of cleaning products, gloves, string, and duct tape. Oh my god. Is he the ass type? Oh my god. Suddenly, my dinner looks like a 5-star restaurant compared to yours. Not hungry for duct tape? Maybe as a treat after dinner? You both laughed, and it was like a weight lifted from your chest. The events of earlier that night melted away, if only for this moment. God, is he going to be the yandere boy who is going to like be murdering people in here or something? I don't know. I do a lot of do-it-yourself stuff, so I'm stocking up. Really, that doesn't look like woodworking supplies to me. You do look like someone who knows a lot about woodworking. We have plenty. I made a chair out of popsicle sticks once. I've worked with wood once or twice in my life. Yeah, I actually did, but I was a child during that time. I was a child, yeah. I was probably like 10 or something. Yeah, more like that. I've worked with wood once or twice in my lifetime, yeah. Oh, really? Care to show me something? Sometime? Sure, just tell me where to send the bill for my services. Being a woodworker yourself, you probably know all the right techniques, wouldn't you? Well, I've been told I'm pretty good with my hands, yeah. And I am very open to critique. We'll just have to practice until you're satisfied. Ethan smirked and pushed his cart to the side, letting another customer through. Care to join me, or would you rather stay here in the condiments aisle forever? I have this sensation that this guy might be dangerous. I can think of worse aisle to be stuck in, but I'll join you. The two of you started to walk through the aisle, and Eden took your basket and placed it in his cart. Wouldn't want your arm getting tired, so mysterious shopkeeper, I'm incredibly curious about you. Oh really? You are the talk of the town, after all. Things must be really slow right now if I'm the talk of the town. You know how small towns are, they'll find anything to gossip about. He picked up a bottle of olive oil and dropped it into the cart. And yet, despite being the most interesting thing that happened here in months, no one knows much about you. Most people assume that Sylvie didn't have any relatives. He glanced over at you. As far as I'm aware, she's never left Willowmist either. What could pull her away so suddenly and drop you in her place? If you say please, I might be honest with you. Pretty please? I have no clue. Really, I'm not trying to be evasive, but honestly, I don't know. I have no clue why she decided to leave. She wrote me a letter and asked me to come. And here I am. She already left when I arrived. So a mystery then. Even more interesting. But that doesn't say much about you. Want to tell me a bit more about yourself? Depends what you want to know. If it's the numbers on my credit card, probably not. Where you grew up, for example, what were your parents like, what's your favorite color? Eden grinned and shrugged his shoulders. Take your pick, whatever you're willing to share. I lied through your teeth. To lie. Yeah, because it's a charm one. I am. But I like to think about it like in a funny way, you know. Oh my god, funny story actually. I was actually raised in a circus. It was great. My parents were clowns. The ringleader had this big beard and he would make balloon animals. We traveled around the country and Eden snorted, then burst out laughing. You laughed along with him and a few heads turned to look at you both. Yeah, and I'm an alien from Mars waiting to abduct you. Hey, it could be true. I'm sorry, but you are a terrible liar. Your face gives everything away. You have to work a little harder if you want to fool me. Eden's lips twisted into a smirk and he leaned towards you, his voice a soft murmur. Not that it matters, but I do love a good mystery. I can tell, seeing as you've barely shared anything about yourself. What, and lose the mysterious appeal I have surrounding me? Is that what you call it? I thought you just needed a shower. Are you offering to join me? No, but I'm happy to give you the address of the nearest bathhouse. It's a date then. How about this? I'll be just as honest as you were. Actually, I was raised in a circus too. You and I were childhood friends, but a fall from the trapeze made you lose your memory of me. I'm actually here to bring you home to the circus. I was just waiting for the right moment. He gave you a sly grin and reached out, tucking a loose strand of hair behind your ear. What do you say? Want to run away to the circus with me? I think I have my hands full with the store at the moment, but I'll keep it in mind. I don't like circus. Yeah, I think most people like circus, and I used to go to the circus when I was young. But then a situation happened which was there was like this family that came with us to watch the circus with us. And the place where they were sitting, it fell down and we were on the top. Yes, they got badly injured. And I think I gained some kind of a trauma with it. And nowadays, I kind of feel like I don't even want to go and watch the circus. You know, I don't feel very comfortable about it. Of course, you do have a lot, like, you have other type of security nowadays that you didn't have. But I don't know, I think it's like it was funny and suddenly the memories that you have of it kind of got shadowed by that thing. So going into circus is not a thing for me anymore. So yeah, circus, nope. My favorite color is green, by the way. I never would have guessed. Do you know mine? I'm sure you're about to enlighten me. I've recently discovered that my favorite color is orange. Really? And I bet when you meet someone with blue eyes, your favorite color is blue. Do I really seem that shallow? I think Lucille doesn't dislike people for no reason. Eden glanced around as if to check no one was watching. Don't tell me you brought your guard dog with you grocery shopping. Maybe I did. She'll jump out when you least expect it. I promise I'll be on my very best behavior then. Eden added a few more things to his cart, mostly small things and nothing that could be considered a meal alone. A single potato, flour but no other baking ingredients, a box of jelly. Amidst the chatting, you found food for dinner too. I think he just needed those things, those items, but then you bump it into each other and then he felt like he needed to put like some other things in there, because I'm starting to feel like, could this guy be a dangerous type of guy? Not just like charming and flirty, maybe he's like a dangerous type of guy. It could be, because now I'm feeling cautious. Mr. Channing, you found food, to a sandwich of some kind, instant noodles, whatever. I like both. They are both bad for me, though. So, which one? It doesn't matter. Sandwiches would have to do for now. Proper meals could start tomorrow. You found fresh bread in the bakery area of the store, and some lettuce, tomato, and cheese. The two of you continued circling the store until you found everything you came for. Dinner for the night, some fresh fruit, and a few essentials like soap and toothpaste. It wasn't much, but it would do. Oh my god, are we going to have to pay this and we don't have money? Now I'm thinking about that. Eden, however, kept your basket hostage in his cart and he continued onwards in no sort of rush. So have you always been a carpenter? Oh no, I tried my hand at a lot of things. Actually, a jack of all trades, master of none, that kind of thing. This guy, I'm having this sensation this guy might be dangerous. Most recently, I was a bartender, but it wasn't for me. And before that, a cook, a painter, a photographer, and a waiter too. God, I'm having intuition coming in here, Is any of that actually true? Like some kind of assassin? I don't know. At least half of it, probably, maybe. Really though, I didn't come out into the world expecting to be a carpenter. It just sort of happened. It was a niche that needed filling in Willowmist. The last carpenter disappeared under mysterious circumstances that had nothing to do with me. The issue with being a carpenter is that you are going to fuck up your hands. It is true though, yeah. Your hands are going to get, yeah. Why do I doubt everything you say to me? Maybe you're a good judge of character? He added a couple more things to the cart and then began pushing it down another aisle. One you already been down twice already. What made you pick carpentry though? That's a pretty specific skill. Like I said, I'm pretty good with my hands. You looked down to his hands, but he was still wearing the same gloves from that morning. I'm getting like those shivers in here. I don't know, this guy. I mean, I like him. He could be like totally up my alley, but now I'm feeling like, wait, is he a yandere? There's something satisfying about making something real with your own hands. You start with just an idea, a few scraps of wood, and then suddenly there it is, something solid, something that exists because you willed it to. I think that's what I like about it. You take something raw, shape it into what it's supposed to be, simple, straightforward. A piece of wood doesn't argue with you about what it should be. That's oddly deep coming from you. What can I say? I'm an oddly deep man. I'm sure you'll get to know that about me soon enough. He added a few more items to the cart before continuing onwards again. You followed, more amused than anything else. I'm starting to wonder if you're leading me in circles, Eden. You can't blame a man for wanting good company. So it was on purpose. Of course, I wouldn't miss the chance to spend more time with you. But I suppose now the game is up, shall we? He motioned towards the counter where the cashier was still idling away. Grabbing your basket out of his cart, you checked out first, then headed outside. He didn't took money from us. He didn't. Oh, I was like, oh my god. Because I was not thinking about that. It had gotten much cooler again. While you'd been outside, the breeze rustled the leaves overhead, and a few stray leaves spiraled down from the branches and landed in your hair. You reached up and shook them loose. Eden followed close behind, carrying several bags. Thanks for waiting. What, did you think I'll ditch you and run off? Maybe. I don't think I've got a good read on you yet, Irina. You're interesting. I was considering it, but then I imagined you standing all alone in the cold with big, sad puppy dog eyes. Couldn't do it. Big, sad puppy dog eyes, huh? So that's the kind of man I am in your mind. I don't know anymore. I'm having the feelings in here. I don't mind playing that part. Well, I was gonna say a lost child at the supermarket, but I thought you might take offense. He flashed you a playful grin before glancing across the road. The street lamps cast a soft glow over the little park nearby. The swings swayed gently in the breeze, creaking faintly under their own weight. Now, since you were kind enough not to abandon me, allow me to return the favor. Oh, what favor is that? You're not going to grab my shopping and keep me hostage again, are you? He nodded towards the empty swings, then tilted his head at you expectantly. I happen to know what the swings over there have the best view of the stars in town. Trust me. His grin widened. Or not, if you don't want to. I'm having like some feelings like about this guy. Like, I am very interested, but at the same time, I am feeling that he might be something. Alone in the park watching the stars. How romantic. I didn't realize that was your style, Eden. Like, if I was actually playing this as a full game, I probably actually wouldn't go to this guy first. Because I would be just too much like, let me check first what this guy might be. Yeah, I would feel that. And maybe it's just me, you know, maybe it's nothing, but I'm starting to feel it. I didn't realize that was your style, Eden. Oh, and what did you think my style was? From my first impression of you, I thought you'd be more likely to invite me back to your place for the night. Would you have said yes? No, probably not. Not the second time we met, anyway. And the third time? We'll see. Eden laughed. I'll have to try and impress you next time, then. Eden somehow, with an arm full of bags of groceries, linked his free arm with yours and led the way over to the swings. They were, as he said, not too far away and completely deserted. A few small lamps cast the area in a pale yellow glow, and a couple of benches were positioned beneath the trees. Their surface covered in leaves, you could see the moon above the treetops. There was something cozy about the place. Secluded and peaceful, but not lonely. Just a small hidden space in the middle of town, a perfect spot for a midnight rendezvous. I am scared of this guy. Or just a place to chat, which was what you were actually doing. Because we are going into this in a very naive way. Like with the other ones, like with Florian, it was okay. With Emmett, it was kind of like okay too, although Emmett was very reserved. But this guy with his charming thing and all of it, I'm like, Should I be more careful? Eden set his groceries down at a bench, then walked over to the swings. Talking one of the two, you took the other, and he gently swung back and forth. So, what do you think of Willowmist so far? What I've seen has been beautiful, kind people, great food, and the night is clear and cool. It's a lot quieter than back home. I could get used to this. And you're staying for 3 months? That's a decently long time, but also no time at all. Yeah, 3 months, and then it's back home again. You sound a little disappointed about that. I don't know if I am or not, really. Things have just been a whirlwind ever since I arrived, and now it's already been a whole week. I'll blink and then it will be time to leave. Eden chuckled and held a little tighter to the swing's chain, still looking up at the stars. Then why leave? Well, my mom is still back home. Even 3 months without seeing her is a long time. Don't you ever miss your parents all the way out here? I'm sure I would if I knew them. Oh, I'm sorry. Don't be, really. Family is a little meaningless to me. So, not raised by grandparents either. I had a more communal living experience, but forget that. I'm far more interested in you. Why not bring your mom here too? She and my aunt don't have the best relationship. Not that I know why. I wish I could have gotten her here. She'll have loved it. I am so cautious about this guy right now that I'm even thinking you should not even talk about yourself, girl. It's just, I don't know. There was like something about seeing the things that he was going to take, and he always wears gloves, and it just made me like, suddenly, if it was me, I would not actually talk this much about myself. I would be just like, I don't know. Yeah. You let out a small sigh and pushed the swing a little harder, trying to get a little more weight. A shame, knowing you and Sylvie, I bet she's incredible. You want to hit on my mom now too? I swear everyone in this town is after my family. Why would I do that when you're right here? I can just tell you already like it here. Would have been nice if she could see through your eyes, don't you think? Yeah, maybe then I'll have some idea why she and my aunt don't get along. I always thought family feuds were supposed to be dramatic, but I don't even know what started it. You've never asked her? I have a bunch of times, but every time she changes the subject or tells me to drop it, so eventually I did. Maybe you should ask your aunt. She might not have the same hangs up. I'd love to if I knew how to contact her. No address or anything? I have literally no clue where she went. Ever the mysterious woman. Imagine this guy is like an assassin or something. And our aunt actually flew from here because of him. And now he's like kind of like approaching us or something. I don't know, like I'm just like creating a story in here. But I'm like, what if? What if? I don't know. I mean, you noticed that he's just very interested in knowing her story, but when it was the time for him to talk about himself, he was always trying to hide it and being mysterious about everything. Yeah. Anyway, 3 months is a long time to be away from home. No friends you're leaving behind. A job, a lover, maybe. Once again, more information that he wants to know. But we are doing the event. We are doing this. It's a demo. It doesn't matter. We'll do it. Nope, no lover. Why are you offering? Eden laughed at that, a gentle yet hearty sound. Maybe I am. Keep in mind, will you? How does such a lovely person not have anyone waiting for them back home? I wonder. Yeah, lovely person. I do not know anymore. Maybe I just haven't found the right person yet. Hadn't, you mean? We met this morning, after all. Wow, and you're already making assumptions about us. Someone's getting ahead of themselves. Someone has to. I'm not going to sit around and let someone else make the first move. Eden grinned. Besides, I don't think I've been imagining your interest in me, have I? Who can say? Maybe I'm just a friendly person. Maybe, but there's a difference between friendliness and flirtation. And I suppose you think you can tell the difference, do you? I like to think I'm not too bad at it, yes. Well, you're confident, I'll give you that. I do like confidence in a man. I do. And that's why, like, usually, like, the flirtatious type of guys many times get me, like when they are teasers and flirtatious, because they have like a confidence that I really look forward in a guy. But yeah, many times they end up like being like yanderes or something. So it's like I have my cautious alert sign up here, like I'm like, wait. Okay, yeah, I like this type, but I need to be cautious because I do not know what's going to come out from here. Confident I shall be then. Eden leaned in slightly, his elbow resting on his knee, his eyes glinting with mischief. And what else do you like, since we're on the topic? Oh, I don't know. Honesty? A good sense of humor? Lucky me then, I happen to be hilarious. Debatable, I think. Oh, and here I thought I was making quite the impression. You are, just not necessarily the one you think. Eden placed a hand over his chest, feigning deep offense. Wounded, truly I am, but if I'm to be known for something, I'll take bold and devastatingly handsome over funny, I suppose. You rolled your eyes, but before you could quip back, his tone shifted, just enough to make you pause. I've always admired boldness, Some people spend their whole lives waiting, hesitating. But I'll rather move forward even if I don't always know where the path leads. I like people like that. I hate, because I am very insecure too. I feel like I need someone that is a lot more braver than me in my life. Like I feel like I need that type of boldness too. Like not just keep like hesitating and just like thinking. Like I need someone with me. She's a lot more confident and bold to just go and, take me along with it, because I hesitate quite a lot. I feel very insecure about things. And that's why like the confident type of guys always like grab me. That's an interesting way of looking at things. Isn't it? If you're standing still, you're letting the world decide for you. Yep, that's it. He rocked back slightly, his gaze drifting towards the night sky, but his voice remained light, playful. And if I stood still, I wouldn't have met you, would I? Wow, is this how you get all your dates? Would it work if it was? You tell me. I think it might. For a brief moment, he fell quiet, swinging just a little, letting the cool night air settle between you. Then with a slow inhale, he spoke again, softer this time, like a thought slipping out before he could catch it. I've never been the kind of person who was meant to stay in one place. I was made to move forward, to keep going, to see things through. His fingers curled loosely around the chains of the swing, and his gaze flickered towards the treetops as if searching for something beyond them. I suppose people like me can't stop. If I sit still, the world will just keep changing without me after all. And what happens when you get to where you're going? I suppose I'll let you know when I get there. Eden smiled and reached his hand out. Before you could react, he plucked a single leaf from your hair and held it up. He twirled the leaf between his fingers, watching it for a moment before tucking it behind your ear with a soft, deliberate touch. There, perfect. You think so? I'm not sure a leaf is the best accessory. You make it work just fine. He leaned it back slightly, resting his arm against the swing's chain as he regarded you, a slow, knowing smile on his lips. It's strange, isn't it? Some people spend their whole lives searching for a place to belong, and others, they just fit somewhere, like they've been here all along. Are you talking about me or you? You're like a missing piece finally clicking into place. The quiet between you stretched on for a moment before Eden laughed and pushed himself off the swing. But enough about that. You should get some sleep before I convince you to stay out all night. You say that like it's a bad thing. I just hate to be responsible for you sleepwalking through your store tomorrow, and I wouldn't want you to miss our date. It's not a date if everyone's going. I'll just have to work extra hard to make sure you only look at me. He scooped up his grocery bags with an easy motion, shifting them over his shoulder. Shooting you a playful glance, he took a few slow steps backward, his silhouette cutting sharp against the lamplight. Don't miss me too much, all right? I think I'll survive, Eden. Good night. Night, Irina. Eden grinned, turning on his heel and sauntering off into the night, leaving only the faint echo of his footsteps on the quiet street. You exhaled, leaning back on the swing, watching the sky stretch vast and endless above you. The town was still, the only movement the occasional rustling of the trees in the night breeze. Some people spend their whole lives searching for a place to belong. With a shake of your head, you pushed yourself up from the swing, then collected your groceries from the bench. Okay, so we got Eden's event too, so we got everyone's event. That was like really cool for the demo. Maybe we do not have a lot more, I don't know. You began to trace back the path home that was quickly becoming as familiar to you as the back of your hand. It wasn't long before you were back in the town square, though it was now completely deserted. The streets were empty, save for a cat darting into an alley, and the only sound was the creak of a distant wind chime as it swayed softly. It's kind of a nice feeling walking at night. I never realized that. You glanced upwards towards the sky. The moon shone bright and clear, illuminating the night and the surrounding houses. There wasn't a cloud in sight, a beautiful night all for yourself. Or almost all for yourself. A flash of something caught your eye, the form of a tall, lanky figure sitting on a rooftop overlooking the square. He watched for a moment, little more than a shadow, before disappearing out of sight. You quickened your steps back to the store. You hoped to see Florian when you arrived back at the store, but he was still nowhere in sight. I wish I had his number or something. Approaching the counter, you searched for any kind of employee's information your aunt might have left, but found nothing. No trace of where Florian nor Lucille lived or a way to contact them. However, sitting on top of the counter, you found a sealed letter with Irina written on it. Setting down your groceries for the moment, you settled down on a stool, then quickly opened the wax seal to see your aunt's graceful handwriting. What? To my dearest Sprout. What? I hope this letter finds you well, and that Willowmist is starting to feel a little less like a place you've arrived at and a little more like a place you could belong. I've no doubt you've been charming the town left and right, whether you've meant to or not. By now, you might be noticing that things here aren't always as they seem. Strange little happenings, peculiar folk with peculiar habits. You are sharp, my dear, you always have been. I won't insult you by pretending you haven't begun to put some pieces together. I wish I could have been the one to tell you everything myself, but well, your mother never would have approved. She wanted you far away from all of this, and though she had her reasons, I always thought you should be able to decide for yourself. The store, our store, isn't just about antiques. It's about people, it's about community, it's about giving a little help to those who need it. Just enough to let them find their own way forward. Some of them have come a long way to get here. Some of them have nowhere else to go. But they all need something, and if you listen closely, you'll know exactly how to help them. I hope by now you've stumbled across that grumpy old book, or rather, I hope he's found you. He's a stubborn thing. Don't take it personally if he's been less than welcoming. He was built to be particular about his company, after all. But if you listen, really listen, he has more wisdom tucked away in those pages than most people do in a lifetime. I know I left a lot on your shoulders, and I know it isn't fair, but I also know you can do this, my little sprout. If anyone can, it's you. I have full belief in you. Take care of the store, take care of its people, take care of yourself. And please tell me you haven't tried to sell the bird vase I told you it was cursed. You know, I bet during the gameplay you are probably going to find this, and you're probably going to sell it because you completely forgot about it. With all my love, Aunt Sylvie. P.S. Tell Queen I'm doing well and that I think of him often. He always did know how to make me laugh. I do hope the two of you have become acquainted. With a smile, you refolded the letter and tucked it away. All right, Aunt Sylvie, I'll do my best. You're still not telling me where you went, huh? Retrieving your groceries, you headed back upstairs to unpack. Your room was much like you left it. The window was still open, your bed was still unmade, and a cushion from the couch was still discarded on the floor from your wake-up call with Florian. A small amount of guilt settled into your stomach as you put away your groceries and made a late dinner. It wasn't much, but it was food. If it isn't my illustrious master, returned from whatever nocturnal nonsense has stolen her attention this time. Barnabas fluttered into view with a dramatic puff of air, as though he'd been holding his breath in indignation. I do hope your day's endeavors have been worth abandoning your faithful servant for hours on end. I imagine whatever inane nonsense kept you away was terribly important. Perhaps a riveting chat with one of your incredibly mundane customers? What? Are you saying you actually wanted my company? I thought you wanted to be alone. Oh, of course, master. I live to be ignored, neglected, and left stewing in indignation while you frolic about with fanged employees and amateur spell work. It brings me immeasurable joy to gather dust alone in your tiny, cramped abode. Something tells me you are being sarcastic right now. You don't say. What a master of deduction. How will I ever escape the clutches of your incredible intellect? I did ask if you wanted to come with me, you know? Which I did not. So what it is you want exactly then? Not to be alone, but also not to spend any time with me. Precisely, your wisdom knows no bounds, master. Though to be candid for a moment, I much prefer your company over the lurking menace you insist on calling an employee. Honestly, a vampire, master. Did you already know? I could hardly call myself a grimoire if I did not know the scent of a vampire. I didn't think being a book had anything to do with smelling people, but all right. All right, I forgot that your brain lags behind sometimes, master. Let me spell it out to you quite simply. Magic is in the air, the threads of reality and the auras people leave behind. And vampires? They reek of old blood and death. And regret, they are more than simple to pick out. But by all means, continue trusting him. I'm sure nothing could possibly go wrong when employing an emotionally fraught bloodsucker with impulse control issues and a sad backstory. He's not really employed by me, he's employed by my aunt, and either way, Aunt Sylvie trusts him, and this store is a place for people who have nowhere else to belong. I would never just throw him out. Barnabas let out a long, drawn-out sigh, as though his entire world had grown tiresome. Oh, very well then. Continue ignoring my sage. You say sage, right? I always want to say sage. Sage advice, and do as you please. After all, it is your funeral, not mine. He turned his attention towards your half-eaten dinner and snorted derisively. A meal fit for the king, I see. A truly inspired use of your time and resources, master. You know, you are pretty judgy for a stack of paper. That's probably why you don't have any friends. You continued eating, waiting for Barnabas' almost guaranteed response. A stack of... The gall of you! The gall! I do not need nor desire friends. I live to serve, not frolic around and have fun like some. Oh yeah, then why do you get so huffy every time I leave you alone? Barnabas fluttered indignantly, his pages puffing outwards in an offended ripple. Because, master, leaving me unattended in this drafty little hovel is a waste of rare and precious genius. Not because I'm lonely, heavens forbid. I simply find it offensive to be shelved when I am a once-in-a-millennium arcane artifact. Totally not lonely. I am above loneliness. Loneliness is for the sentimental beings with soft hearts. I am made of enchanted ink and intellect. Besides, I had plenty of company today. Lady Seraphina of House Moonridge accused Countess Belladonna of enchanting her husband with a love axe, again. And the fallout was positively catastrophic. Wine flung, curses shouted, a head caught fire, utterly riveting. Now I could be going crazy, but I'm pretty sure those are characters from a television show. Yeah, because she left the TV on, remember? To entertain him. The real sorceress of Silverkip, yeah. In fact, it does not surprise me that you know so little about it, but it is a fascinating documentary. A documentary. And you enjoyed watching this documentary? It was purely academic viewing, master, a study of interpersonal dynamics among magically inclined nobility. It's research. Did you spend all day watching it? I may have absorbed 8 episodes, but only because Countess Belladonna's familiar betrayed her, and I had to see how that arc resolved, for scientific integrity, obviously. Right, scientific integrity. Honestly, if they simply enchanted their contract bindings properly, none of this would happen. Amateur hour, truly. Also, Seraphina's illusion magic is atrocious. Her whole tower is a lie and no one is talking about it. You do know that's all fictional, right? Obviously, master, but some elements ring true. Magic, after all, is based purely in reality. There have been countless Lady Seraphinas and countless Belladonnas throughout history. Anyone like me in there? Why, yes, there happens to be a talking toad that advises the Countess. I believe the character is called Toadsworth. You share many qualities. Careful there, Barney. Compliment me too much and I might accidentally fall for you. You would not be the first human to do so, trust me, not the last. Wow, ladies' man over here. Finishing your food, you cleaned up and then glanced over towards Barnabas, who was still watching you. It's late tonight, but maybe tomorrow we could do some more practicing? I'm always prepared to further your knowledge and skill, master, though perhaps you could begin by tidying up this horrendous mess you call a room. Honestly, a pigsty, truly. That feels a little unfair. This is all my aunt's stuff, not mine. It's not like I choose to have a room full of clutter. You have lived in it for a week and haven't even bothered to put away your own dirty dishes, master. I would not deign to call that a good defense. With a groan, you considered and began to put the room in order. You didn't have the energy for it, but you also didn't have the energy to argue with a book. Oh, by the way, is my whole magic stick? What is a stick? Meant to be a secret? Do I seem as if I have the answer to every question, master? You seem like you like to think that, yes? Well, I am pleased to see you accepting the truth. But to answer your question, yes. In general, revealing one's magical capabilities to the mundane masses is frowned upon, especially when one is a fledgling spellcaster who lacks any kind of control. You are far more likely to set your sleeves on fire than impress anyone. That's true. Hey, I'm already getting down that spell you taught me. As did every toddler taught it in the past. I'm on the level of a toddler? Just below, actually, but don't be discouraged, master. Toddlers are remarkably clever these days. You know, a bit of encouragement wouldn't kill you. No, but it might kill you, and I've grown strangely fond of not being shoved into a forgotten drawer again, so consider my criticism a public service. One day, it might even save your life. One day, I'm going to be so good at magic that you're going to eat those words. While that day comes, master, I shall serve them with tea, jam, and a commemorative plate. But until then, try not to burn down the house. I wonder how flammable you are. Excuse me? Did you just threaten to ignite me? Me, the illustrious Barnabas the Magnificent. I'll have you know I am warded against flame, though clearly not against rude commentary from reckless amateurs. Honestly, how flammable are you? Have you no shame, no decorum, no decency? You're so easy to wind up, Barney. Well, yes, well, enjoy your jest at my expense, master. It's good to have a hobby when one lacks talent. I'm sure you'll know all about that. Going back to the don't tell anyone lest you burst into flames, yada yada. Is it okay if I trust someone? That is your decision, master. There have been many famous spellcasters who were quite open about their craft, and others who were inherently secretive. Some were revered as visionaries, others were burned at the stakes. It's a bit of a mixed bag, really. Trust is a valuable resource, best spent in small increments and monitored closely. So you are saying I should trust but be careful. No, I'm saying you should trust me and be wary of everyone else. But since I know you won't listen, yes, be careful, at least try to be. Magic may be your inheritance, master, but secrecy is your shield. You don't yet know what kind of eyes might be watching or what they want. You are being uncharacteristically serious right now. Yes, well, even I am allowed moments of grim sincerity. Now, if you're quite done probing the depths of philosophical trust, please turn on the next episode of The Real Sorceresses of Silverkeep. I need to see if Lady Seraphina finally axes that two-faced necromancer or just throws another goblet. Sorry. Yeah, here you go. You lifted up the remote and turned on the television, and the screen lit up with images and a loud voice-over. Barnabas fell silent, and you took the opportunity to settle into bed. With a yawn, you glanced towards the open window and the moon hanging high and bright above the treetops. As tired as you were, sleep did not come easily. Thoughts raced through your mind, and the event of the day felt more vivid than ever. Still, after some tossing and turning, you fell into a deep sleep, accompanied by the occasional gasp from Barnabas in the background. Sunday, and it's raining. You woke to the soft patter of rain against the window pane, gentle as lullaby still echoing in the quiet hush of the morning. It's actually taking more than I was expecting. I do suppose we only have a Sunday in here. But if it's still going to be the whole day, it's going to take me a while. And yeah, I need to stop in here. Sorry. Yeah, I need to stop. So I guess we are going to probably end just tomorrow. I was expecting to end it today. Yeah, this actually took a lot more than I was expecting. Yeah. So I'm sorry. Yeah, we're going to continue in here. I just don't want to go more. Yeah, in here. So yeah, I'm sorry. We're going to continue tomorrow, okay? Because I need to go out too right now. So yeah, a pity. But I'm I'm enjoying it. I'm having fun with it. I never thought I was going to have fun with this one because it's so different in terms of like the frame and everything, the text box. But I'm actually having a lot of fun. And everyone in here is like very, very interesting, very curious and pretty and all of it, yeah. So I guess we'll see each other tomorrow. Thank you very much then.